So usually you read my posts online on my website, www.sarahperlmutter.com. To talk to you about setting, I've actually gone outside into the place where I have set my book, The Blast. And also parts of my Deathless trilogy. At first when I started writing, I didn't have a place in mind. I didn't have woods, I didn't have a neighborhood. I just had an idea of what this house looked like and what the area looked like and what needed to be there. But then one day I went driving and I found this neighborhood and I wanted to stop and check it out and see what everything looked like up close when I realized there were actually trails all through the area, which are what I'm walking on now. That's when I realized this was the perfect place for my book to be set. So the reason I came all the way out here to talk to you about setting is because rule number one, I think, is that you should always have a clear place in mind when setting your book. It can be a real place or it can be imaginary, but you need to know where things are. That's why so many fantasy writers make maps for themselves. Once you know where you are, start to get an idea of what things taste like, sound like, look like, feel like, and smell like. If you can, take a notebook. Or you could use these things we call phones. They have cameras on them with recording devices. I've heard they're useful. Know what flowers are here. Know what the grass looks like here. Know what the sky looks like when it's about to start pouring down rain. Bonus if you can visit your space, because if you can, then what you can do is you can find a special area and you can find some specific details about that area. Things that you can focus on to make the setting you've already established as real even more personal for your reader. My special place isn't actually here. It's actually while I'm driving. I like to drive past the railroad tracks because they have tiger lilies growing out of them, and it's super cool. I'll try to sneak a picture of them later. Okay, so you've done all that, you've established where you are, you've established all of the sensory details about this place, and you have a real location in your mind. So what now? Can I teach you how to skip stones? Now you write your descriptions. Go off the beaten path with your descriptions. Avoid cliches and things that are tired. Like, the forest is emerald green. I mean, like, honestly, that's fine. But I'm sure I've used it too. But you want to use descriptions that are a little more specific. Things that can also work two ways. The first way you want your descriptions to work is obviously to convey what the sensory detail is. The second thing you want your description to do is to provide a little bit more information about the character, especially if you're writing in first person. Weeping willow tree branches, like Beatrice's hair in the first chapter of I Am Deathless. By the way, this is the meadow where Isla shoots the bunny. See? All the clover behind me? And in the distance you can see the house that's supposed to be the Crowley house. Maybe, kind of, sort of, not really. And my final rule for setting, be consistent. When I was first mapping out the Immortal, I put the infirmary in the Hall of Laboratories, as it is currently as it should be. But in later drafts, I had it in the Hall of Dormitories, and I didn't realize it until I was writing the final draft and saw that the infirmary was in two different places. So for that, for something like the Immortal, or a place I haven't been to, I've had to make maps. I've had to pin secretly the floor plans and everything for these places so that I can know where things are and that I can remember and be consistent in the future. Up that road toward the ominous stormy clouds is the farm and the Crowley's house. Farm area? Train tracks. So there you have it, my tips on how to create the perfect setting, and also a little bit of a tour of the blast locations, as well as some I Am Deathless. I hope you enjoyed it. Come back for the next video. Thanks, bye!